Like, don't at me. Don't at me. Don't at me. Goddamn. Don't at me. Don't at me. Don't at me.
All right, we are recording. Hey,
we back.
Episode 49.
Yeah,
We're back.
We are back.
We
back
made
in the
it.
stew.
Back like we never left.
2 years later, JK.
Hey, we made it, man. None of us, knock on wood, at least not yet. None of us got caught by 20. Well, there's no way we could get still caught by 2020. But I was gonna say we all made it out of 2020 alive.
We did.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
It's good to see y'all, man. Like this is y'all understand. Like it's the first time we in person recording in a while, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It felt like 2 years or some shit.
it's
Sorry.
been a while since I could
Record.
It's
Man, there's been a lot of
refreshing.
shit going on too, man. It's been a crazy year. I know the most recent shit that kind of caught me off, not off guard, but like, I guess the main thing that I want to talk about was the no-go with Sha'Carri Richardson with the Olympics. And I mean, look, so I'll set the stage here. You know, this all broke this week, right? And a lot of athletes have come out and against it, and hey, let her run. The other people, you know, people on the other side are, hey, she knew the rules, she still broke those rules, you know, and I can respect that to a certain extent, but my problem is it's not a performance enhancer. It's something that she's doing in her own free time.
Facts.
And granted, it is the rule. I understand if they say, hey, she can't run because she broke the rule, whatever. Maybe she'll be the first person or the last person, maybe, right? Because it gets enough attention and maybe people actually push for change. But I think change does need to happen, because what I do away from work should have no impact on, you know, my standing. Like that's my biggest problem with it.
Didn't Michael Phelps smoke weed too?
Hell yeah.
No,
Yeah.
seriously, like
Yeah,
it didn't
he
happen.
definitely smoked weed.
He didn't get any like repercussions, you know.
don't-
But I think the
yeah,
issue
I
is it was a picture of him smoking weed. It wasn't like the actual like act of it. But
like
back
he
to,
ain't getting tested
Yeah.
and shit like that.
This is like
Exactly,
that
yeah.
bullshit NBA rule that if I knock the ball out of Gary's hands, but it grazed his fingertip
Bro.
going out, it's out on him.
yeah.
Like, it's like the same thing, right? Like,
Honestly-
you got popped with a test. Look, Alan's full
What's
of
so
it
weird
right
is
now.
I never knew about that rule until this year. I didn't know it was a thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, so
It's
you can
insanity.
actually cause the ball to go out of bounds, but if it grazes your hand, it's still not out on you.
You know, I
It's
guess
just
the thing with
because
that,
you didn't guide it out.
and
Yeah,
I know
that's
that
silly.
this is
That's
kind
silly.
of a pivot, but I guess the thing on that is if I'm going out of bounds and I throw it off your knee, you know, it's
Yeah.
out on you.
Yeah.
If I tip it out, so it's kind of that, okay, well, it's being governed by the exact law and all this,
Law of physics
but
and
it's
shit.
too much. You think it's too much into it, right? It's the same
Right.
thing. It's like,
Bringing some bullshit out the rule book.
that's the
Nobody
metaphor
heard
for
of,
this, you know? It's like,
And I feel
what
like-
she's doing outside
Right.
on her own time
Uh-huh.
should have no. I mean, it has nothing to. I can understand if she's shooting up, getting the juice.
Yeah.
Marion
HGH.
Jones, it made sense.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but this has no impact on that, and
One-
especially when she says she's using it
to cope.
to
Mom
cope.
passed.
It's
cope,
a mental
yeah.
thing, right? Like that. It's mental health. You
Bro.
know, there's this facade that everybody gives a shit about mental health now in sports, but it's still so stigmatized. Oh, you need help? Oh, that's not okay. You know, I mean, these bullshit barbaric rules in place.
To me, it's fucking weed, bro. It's cannabis. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's not gonna give you an edge. You know what I think personally, y'all? I think because she doesn't fit the mold, like by her whole look and everything with the nails. She from Dallas, you know what I'm saying? She's a hood baby, you know. Shout out Dallas. And you know, with the red hair, color hair and shit, they don't want to see that. If I'm being real with you, they don't. You know what I'm saying? She's dominating, right? So I think they're gonna try to find anything they can to like stop her from that. So that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I think I got the same opinion actually, because, well, I wouldn't say it's for the look. I would just say like, man, like she really like went hard on, you know what I'm saying, like on in the 100. What she I forgot she ran like a 10. It was like under like a 10.5 or some shit, like 10.3 or some shit like that. And that shit is like wow, like, you know what I'm saying, like I don't know, maybe you know the you know, Japanese or something, like got somebody in the tuck that, you know what I'm saying, is like right up under that, and they just don't want to see them, you know what I'm saying, shine like that. But I don't know, man, it could be just anything, man. Like, but it's weed though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Jack hit the nail on the head. Like, it's not fucking performance enhancing. Like, you don't get no type of edge off that shit. Like, I would think that it make you fucking slower. You know what I'm saying? Like,
damn, I don't have the motivation.
yeah, it's like I ain't even trying to run.
Hey,
Yeah,
let me chill for a minute.
yeah. Let me go get a sandwich or some shit.
Yeah, you were in the Navy, man, so you know what it's like to kind of have, hey, you can't fucking do this or that, and kind of have your own separation in church and state. I mean, where are you at on all this?
It's crazy because I think I actually brought that up yesterday. Like, just like talking about how when I was in, obviously it was a 0 drug policy. Like, you get caught, like, I've seen people just, you know, pop on the drug test, and next thing you know, they out the military. And what's wild is
Special guest.
what was wild is the fact that
Yo.
Let's spice this shit up. What up?
What's
Alan
up,
joined
baby?
the house. Well, we're short of mics, so we'll kind of share them. But
Sure.
you want to pop a squat
Look, bro,
or
you're
chill
on
here?
Alan,
Here,
you're
you
on
can chill
camera,
here
though,
on
bro.
the
We're recording this shit.
yoga ball. If you want to pop up here.
Got the riff raps
Yeah,
going on.
Chill here.
Get 'em out.
Hey, so you came into us talking about Sha'Carri Richardson, the whole situation where, hey, I don't care what you do outside of work. If it's against the rules, it's against the rules. So look, we get that piece of it, you know, but why does that kind of rule why are those kind of things in place? Gerry just kind of telling us the parallels that he sees with, well, I kind of asked, you know,
Yeah,
military.
military.
What's that like?
But
you know?
what I was saying about that was just to sum it up. I've even seen you know, people, you know, pop they out, and what's crazy is being in. I remember like craving, like, man, like, damn, I want to smoke just because I can't, you know, type shit. And then, honestly, I got exposed to like acid and like Molly and other shit, just like, you know, like.
What?
Because it don't stay in the system long. So I'm like, oh shit, like I'm gonna just do this, like, cause I can't smoke weed. You know what I mean?
Right.
It kind of twisted on its head,
Yeah,
you know?
because I know, you know, if I smoke, I'm a pop, and it's gonna stay in my system like 30 days.
You have any takes on this?
First, before you talk, Alan, I love them fucking shades, bro.
Thank you,
Them
man.
shits is dope
Go at
as
the
shit.
flea market.
We got somebody else knocking on the door. What's up? Let's
got guest
take a quick
galore
little
coming
peek.
in.
You
Oh,
can
no,
just
we
kick
got a
it.
little
You kick
podcast.
it.
This is cool. You
Caleb,
come
Gary's
in.
little brother. You on camera,
the building.
so you know, sit
See
there.
us?
Yeah.
You probably got to scoot in a little bit, actually. But yeah, you know, it's funny that, you know, Chance, you made the point, and Jock too, about, you know, she doesn't really fit the mold, and maybe I'm just kind of, you know, poking a sleeping bear here, but it goes back, kind of reminds me of the whole controversy with the Seahawks and the Patriots Super Bowl, right? Where very clearly everybody seems to think. I still say that if you're the Seahawks, you had 3 plays and 2
Right.
timeouts. You got to throw it one time, right? Fuck it, throw it first down. I don't necessarily fault them for throwing it. I was happy because, hey, it was a pick. I'm a Brady guy.
Right.
But you had to probably throw it in there, or just run it twice, and instead of doing 3 chances, you're just going to take 2. Anyway, people started to say, all right, well, the reason that they didn't go with that was Pete Carroll was dying for Russell Wilson
To be the
to
man.
win the MVP because he, you know, prim and proper, buttoned up, fit the mold. They were worried, you know, okay, what if we give it to Marshawn, who anti-media, feels this whole quote unquote,
You know why I'm here.
thug, you know, thug.
Too much into it, man.
I'm not saying I believe that. I'm saying that was a lot of what I had read at the time. Like, and I won't even say that was a common consensus, but that was definitely an opinion out there. So it
Caleb.
kind of, you know, makes you think about that to a certain extent.
Caleb, I want to ask you, so how do you feel about what's going on with Sha'Carri Richardson?
Who?
Richardson.
The Olympic runner
Olympic-
that was
the
unable
runner,
to run
uh-huh.
because she smoked.
Bro, I was whack. Hey.
Because I know you very pro-black, so just be honest.
Let's
you know
get
what I
you
mean?
in there for a minute. Let's
Yeah.
get your take.
Yeah.
Young take, right? What
Yeah.
are the,
Mhm.
what Gen Y? I don't know shit.
Who knows?
Gen Z.
I don't know either, but hey, honestly, it's just some BS because
Uh-huh.
you know, people smoking weed is so normalized. Like,
Mhm.
all right, it's so the fact that she was disqualified. First of all, her mom just died, so I want to say she was coping with that death
Mhm.
through smoking, doing whatever she wanted to do.
Mhm.
So the fact that she worked her whole life to get to that point,
Yep.
and then through by getting disqualified by something that she was doing that's normal, that's some BS if you ask me.
Yeah.
I really don't understand why the Olympics doesn't even allow that.
Do you think because she doesn't fit the mold based on like the looks, you know what I mean, the nails and everything?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Mhm, mhm.
If that was the reason as to why, you know, I wouldn't be surprised.
She represents. The thing I love is she's herself. She doesn't care, like, this is me, take me as I am. I'm not
from?
Dallas.
She's from Dallas.
Yeah. From the hood, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like, we all
she
come from
look
different areas.
manhood and shit like that too. She's like she do mad good hair and shit.
Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I felt like it was important to talk about because we are in the 21st century. You know, it's 2021. I look at alcohol versus marijuana. Why is alcohol so okay? Marijuana remains stigmatized in a lot of ways, and it's a lot better than it was.
It's a money thing, right?
10 years ago. Well, I think to a certain extent, but I forgot what athlete. Maybe it was Dame or somebody was saying. All these same rule makers are a lot of the same people that are investing in big marijuana right now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's unorthodox. It's kind of upside down. I just don't understand why you have. I guess what I'm hoping for is we get to a world where that becomes a little bit less. It's more of a mental. If it's treated as a medicine in some cases, is alcohol treated as a medicine in any case?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's
Yeah.
times, right?
Yeah.
You got to come up with the times.
Like 150 years ago, they used to treat that shit with alcohol.
So I think weed should be legal for everybody to do at all points in time, no matter what your occupation, blah, blah, blah. I was chilling with somebody the other night, though, and they had a point that was, okay, like, this is what you've worked your whole life for as a runner, blah, blah, blah. You know that this is a prohibited substance. So you can smoke weed like all day, every day, besides outside this window. You chose to do it knowing the same day you were competing.
Right.
You know, like I don't like, and that was, I mean, it's fucked up. Like they should be able to retroactively just change the fucking rule or whatever. Right. But those were the rules. And so it's like
that I don't debate. I'm not.
You know what I mean? And so that's the whole thing, though. It's like if you like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, and that's kind of how I led it with. She knew the rule, she broke it. I'm not really necessarily saying that they need to.
It's a stupid rule.
That's my argument. It's a stupid rule.
Stupid rule.
Don't retroactively change it so that she can run. Necessarily. It's just those rules should be out of sports, in my opinion, in all the sports, football, basketball, baseball. I mean, again, what impact does that have? I can understand if it's a performance enhancing drug, if it's something that is a hardcore, heavy drug that might kind of have side effects. Maybe you're hungover, it impacts your performance the next day. I don't know about anybody smoking weed the night before a game, playing the next day, saying, "Man, I shouldn't have smoked that extra joint last night, man."
Yeah.
Like
it's silly, man. Like I think in a couple of years they're gonna get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like the whole weed shit. Watch, mark my words. Next year,
I mean, they did it for the NBA and shit like that.
Exactly.
Like,
Yep. That's all I want to say. Yeah, they're gonna get rid of it.
Hey,
with the Olympics though, like it's weird, like because it's like around the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just because that shit could be like acceptable in America and shit like that. And I understand that this was the trials though, right? Like this is just like, so I mean, I don't know. It's like what weed's legal in like 30 states in some type of way, like something like that.
And it was actually it's legal in the state she competed in as well.
Which is
Okay,
another
most
problem.
definitely like that's
and
some shit.
So
You know,
Emily,
The
the
trial
wife,
took place in California, and she smoked in California that day.
Yeah.
Like, so she was doing legal by the letter of the law,
and that's why,
but
I'm such an
not
arguer.
legal. That's the same thing, though. Like, if you live in a legal state, Oregon, California, but you work at a job that says, well, that's still your job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that's my thing, too. I mean, and that's why it's an argument. And I said this with last year with the pandemic. I feel like you either have to treat it like it's a big deal or it's not a big deal. The middling stuff is where, there's gray area and the boundaries change. If I step foot in this state, over here, they treat it completely different. I mean, shit, even county to county. Same thing with marijuana. It's, 30-some states where it's legal in some capacity. You see it now in hiring, where, okay, if you're getting tested in that place, you live in that place, you work in that place, they have to make exceptions. Okay, I get that, but it's ridiculous, and I think that's fair for those people. For the people that don't live in that state, it is kind of silly if you're just looking at it from a simple logic standpoint, that in some cases people are able to use a substance based on where they live, and for no reason outside of that.
it sucks, but